I can't believe we're only 6 weeks away, I said, staring at the sample wedding menu spread on the kitchen table. I still feel like I'm dreaming. Lena laughed softly as she stirred soup on the stove. You always say that. Are you really that excited to marry me? Obviously. I'm marrying the kindest, smartest woman I've ever met. A future nurse who'll save the world while I build boring houses. You don't build boring houses, she argued. You design places where people live, love, argue, and eat cheap soup. I like to blame the budget for that soup joke, but you just roasted your own cooking. She tossed me a napkin. Shut up and eat when it's done. Her smile was warm, and I admired her as if nothing could ever break us. For a moment, I forgot there was anything outside this cozy kitchen. Then she said quietly, Ethan, I need to tell you something. I glanced up. You burned the soup? I'm serious. Okay, shoot. She took a slow breath. Daniel came back. My heart paused. Daniel as in, your ex, Daniel? Yeah, he just returned from overseas. He asked if we could talk. I thought you two were done talking years ago. We are. I mean, we should be. But he wanted closure. That's a word people use before doing something stupid. She frowned. Don't make this dramatic. He just wants to clear the air. It's been bothering him for years. How? Is that my problem? It's not your problem. It's mine. I want to end that chapter properly. You already ended it. You're marrying me. That's why I want to do it right. So talk to him here. A cafe. A 5-minute conversation. That's the thing, she whispered. He asked if we could go on a short trip. Just 3 days. I stared at her like she'd just confessed to a crime. A trip? With your ex. For closure, she repeated. No sane person needs a hotel and sunsets to close a chapter. She placed the ladle down and walked closer to me. Please don't assume the worst. I wouldn't ask if I didn't care about our relationship. I want to walk into our marriage with nothing hanging over me. Or with him hanging over you, I muttered. She crossed her arms. Do you trust me or not? That's not fair, I said. You're asking me to be okay with something that sounds like a bad romantic cliche. I'm asking you to trust who I am. You know me. I won't do anything stupid. I love you. You love me. So you need a vacation with another guy? It isn't a vacation, she insisted. It's closure. 3 days. Then I come back and we focus on us. I swear. I looked at her eyes, steady, hopeful, confident in a way that made me doubt my instincts instead of her actions. I hated that. Where are you going? I asked. Montrose Bay. Just a coastal town. Quiet. He said it's where he wants to apologize. That sounds romantic, Lena. It's not. It's goodbye. I paced slowly. Why now? Why not months ago? Because he wasn't here. He traveled everywhere trying to start a new life. And now he wants to apologize. What's wrong with letting someone say sorry? Because sorry can open doors better left closed. She took my hand. I'm choosing you. That won't change in 3 days. And when you come back, I asked, everything's over for good? Yes, she said firmly. Completely. I swallowed hard. Then fine. Go. If you think it's important, go. Her eyes softened with relief. Thank you for trusting me, Ethan. I hope, I whispered, you give me no reason to regret it. She hugged me, and I held her back, telling myself love meant trust even when it hurt. Somewhere deep inside, a small voice asked if I just made the biggest mistake of my life. I ignored it. I told myself love was louder. I hoped I wasn't wrong. I'll text you when we get there, Lena said as she pulled her suitcase toward the taxi. Just be safe, I replied, forcing a smile. She leaned in, kissed my cheek lightly, and whispered, 3 days. Then everything will be perfect. Promise. I nodded, even though something inside me felt unsteady, like a chair missing a leg. I watched the taxi drive away, telling myself trust wasn't supposed to hurt this much. At work, blueprints covered my desk, but all I saw were questions. Mason walked over holding coffee like he owned the place. You look like you haven't slept in a week, he said. I'm fine. You're lying. And your fiancée is on a romantic trip with her ex. It's not romantic. It's closure. He scoffed. Closure doesn't need luggage. Closure doesn't need 3 days. Closure is a 5-minute goodbye, not a beach vacation. It's not a vacation, Mason. You keep saying that like you're trying to convince yourself. I clench my pen. She loves me. She wouldn't throw us away for something stupid. That's not the point, he said. Even if nothing happens, the idea is disrespectful. You deserve someone who protects your peace, not someone who gambles with it. I'm not going to panic over a trip. She said she's coming back, and everything ends there. He stared at me quietly. Do you believe that? Or do you just want to believe it? I didn't answer. I didn't know. That night, I texted her. Me, did you get there? No reply for 2 hours. Then, Lena, sorry. Long drive. Tired. I typed quickly. Me, everything okay? 15 minutes. Lena, bad signal. Talk later. Bad signal. Convenient. I stared at the message like it came from someone I didn't know. I kept telling myself not to read between the lines. The second day was worse. Hours passed without a message. I felt like a ghost haunting my own apartment. I called her. No answer. I tried again. Straight to voicemail. Finally, late at night, she texted, "We're hiking." No service. Don't worry. I wanted to scream. How am I not supposed to worry? But instead, I wrote, "Me, just want you safe." 1 hour later, she replied, "I'm fine. Sleep. Love you." I stared at those words. Love you. They felt small, distant, cheap. The third day, Mason cornered me again at work. "Still defending this?" he asked. I'm trying not to jump to conclusions. You don't jump. You look for proof. And you don't want proof right now. I rub my eyes. If she's lying, it'll destroy everything. And if she's not lying, he asked. Then I doubted her for nothing, and that'll destroy something too. He sighed. You're living in the middle of fear and faith. That's where people get broken. I didn't want to hear that. I wanted reassurance. I wanted someone to tell me I wasn't stupid. So I said coldly, she chose me. I trust her. Mason raised his hands. All right, then be ready for whatever truth comes home with her. That night, she still hadn't called. I opened her social media instinctively, ready to torture myself. I didn't expect to see anything, but then, there it was. A photo posted to her story. Lena and Daniel, laughing on a boardwalk. Wind in her hair. His hand holding hers, not accidentally, not briefly, but confidently, like someone who knew he was allowed to hold it. They looked carefree, not emotional, not sad, not saying goodbye. She looked happy, happier than she looked when planning our wedding. My stomach twisted painfully. I called her instantly. No answer. I messaged her. Me, why is he holding your hand? No reply. I stared at that image until my phone blurred from tears I didn't want to admit existed. I heard my own breath shaking. Mason texted me, "You okay?" I replied, "I'm an idiot." Then he wrote, "No. You trusted someone. That's never stupid. She's the one who broke it." His words hit hard, but he was right. Trust wasn't the problem. Trusting someone who didn't protect it was. In that moment, my love didn't die. It changed into something sharp, quiet, and waiting. I realized love isn't blind. Trust shouldn't mean letting someone destroy you. And if she came back smiling at me, I would smile back. But I wouldn't be the same man she left behind. The door opened, and Lena rushed inside like she'd been gone for months. "Ethan," she shouted, dropping her bags and hugging me tightly. "I missed you so much. You wouldn't believe how exhausting it was." I didn't hug back right away. I waited a second, then returned the gesture lightly. "Long trip, huh?" "The longest," she sighed. "But it's done. Completely done." She pulled out a small paper bag. "I got you something. Something funny. Don't laugh too hard." "What's inside?" I asked. "A keychain shaped like a hammer," she giggled. "Because you're an architect, obviously." I turned it over in my hand. "Cute. You don't like it?" I didn't say that. She studied my face. "You look tense. Work stress. Something like that." She grabbed her suitcase again. "Well, I'm home, and we're okay, so please don't look so serious." I nodded. "Then tell me about the trip." She shrugged playfully. "Honestly, boring. We talked, argued a little, and finally got everything out. It's over. Completely over. Just talking, right?" "Yes, just talking," she answered quickly. "And holding hands." Her eyes blinked too fast. "What? No. Why would I hold his hand?" "Ethan, come on. Don't be ridiculous." I kept my voice calm. "I'm just asking." "Well, you don't need to. Nothing happened. I'm here because I want us. Isn't that enough?" I studied her face quietly. She avoided my eyes like they were too bright to look into. "That's what matters," I said. Right, she replied loudly, almost too excited. No more doubts, no more past, just us planning a wedding and a life. I love you. I really do. You've said that before, and I'll keep saying it. But actions speak louder, I murmured. She tilted her head. What does that mean? It means I'm listening now. To what you do, not just what you say. She laughed nervously. Well, what do you want me to do? Propose to you again? Kiss your shoes? I already chose you. I forced a small smile. Then choices will show themselves over time. I don't like when you talk in puzzles, she muttered. Maybe I'm just thinking more clearly lately. She put her hands on her hips. Do you not trust me? I paused deliberately. I think trust grows or dies on its own. I won't force it anymore. You're being dramatic again. Maybe. Or maybe I'm just learning. Her voice softened. Ethan, don't ruin this for us. We're in a good place now. Let's enjoy it. We will, I said, as long as the truth is here with us. It is, she insisted. Good. Then there's nothing to worry about. She smiled, relieved. Exactly. Now help me unpack and let's eat something. I want to forget everything from that trip. I already have, I replied. Her smile faltered for a second. Just 1 second. Then she grabbed her bags and walked to the bedroom, talking about dinner, about dresses, about wedding guests. I watched her from behind, noticing how her voice rose too quickly when she spoke, how she filled silence with useless details, how she never looked at my eyes for more than 2 seconds. For the first time, I didn't try to stop the discomfort in my chest. I let it grow, let it reshape itself into something steady and cold. My love didn't vanish. It sharpened into awareness. She thought she came home to the same version of me she left behind. She thought sweet words and cheap souvenirs could glue everything back together. She didn't know a picture had changed everything. I didn't need to argue or accuse. I didn't need answers. I only needed time. I wasn't trusting blindly anymore. I was observing. And soon, whether she liked it or not, everyone would see what I'd seen. Not because I'd tell them, because her actions would. Should we go with white roses or pink peonies? Lena asked, waving 2 pictures in front of me. Whichever you like, I replied. You don't care. I care that you're happy. She smiled proudly, like she'd won a prize. Then pink peonies. Daniel always said roses were overrated. I looked straight at her when she said his name. She froze for half a second, then pretended she hadn't spoken at all. You okay? She asked quickly. Perfect, I said. She continued talking about flowers, table layouts, silverware no one would ever notice. I watched her eyes flick to her phone twice. She turned the screen away so I wouldn't see. She thought she was subtle. She wasn't. Later that night, she walked into the bathroom to shower. Her phone buzzed on the bed. The screen lit up. Daniel, can you talk? I took a screenshot without hesitation. She came out minutes later, hair wet, smiling at me like nothing happened. You're quiet today, she said. Just tired. Should I give you a massage? She giggled, trying too hard. No need. I'll sleep soon. She kissed my cheek. I love you, Ethan. I looked at her, memorizing how easy the lie came out. Yeah, I know. The next day, we met our wedding planner, Sophia Lane, a sharp, confident woman in her 30s who spoke like she didn't have time for nonsense. So, she began, spreading color palettes on the table. Tell me what you two want your wedding to feel like. Elegant, Lena said. Honest, I added. They both looked at me. Lena frowned slightly. Sophia raised an eyebrow. Honest? Interesting choice. It matters, I said. Sophia's eyes studied me with curiosity. Most grooms focus on colors or budgets. You care about honesty. I believe the wedding should reflect the truth. Lena laughed nervously. He's becoming philosophical lately. Sophia tapped her pen. Philosophical or aware? I smiled. Aware is a nice word. She smirked. I like aware grooms. Calm ones. They're unpredictable. Unsettling, Lena muttered, rolling her eyes. Sophia leaned back. Actually, unsettling can be good. It means he knows something other people don't. Lena's cheeks tightened. We're here to plan flowers, not analyze Ethan's mood. Sophia raised her hands playfully. All right then, flowers. Honest flowers. Whatever that means. I grinned. Exactly. On the way home, Lena forced laughter. What was that? You made it sound like we're hiding secrets. Are we? I asked gently. She stiffened. Of course not. Why would you say that? No reason, I said calmly. Just listening. Well, stop listening so hard. It's weird. That's fair. I nodded. I'll listen just enough. She stared at me suspiciously, but didn't push further. She couldn't afford to. That weekend, we visited her parents. The Harts greeted me like I was royalty. Ethan, Mrs. Hart hugged me tightly. You're the best thing that ever happened to our daughter. Yes, Mr. Hart agreed proudly. She's lucky to be marrying a man like you. Loyal, stable, serious. Not like that irresponsible boy she used to date. I smiled politely. Lena's face stiffened. Then she forced a laugh. Dad, please don't talk about old things. I'm just saying, Mr. Hart continued. You finally chose the right man. Ethan is reliable. You don't find men like him anymore. I sat quietly. Reliable. Loyal. Serious. Words that felt heavy, like they'd been placed on my shoulders without my permission. Mrs. Hart patted my hand. Promise me you'll take care of her always. I will, I answered. Lena looked relieved. Her parents looked emotional. I looked at their living room decorations, wondering if any of them would believe how wrong they were. Mr. Hart smiled. You're a blessing, son. She should never lose you. I stared straight at Lena as he said it. She looked away. Late that night, I lay beside her, listening to the faint vibration of her phone under the pillow. She thought she was clever, deleting messages, locking conversations, turning notifications silent. She didn't know screenshots could be backed up. She didn't know screen recordings stored without sound. She didn't know calm didn't mean blind. She whispered, half asleep, wedding's going to be perfect, perfect. I whispered back, it will be exactly what it needs to be. Not beautiful, not romantic, not what she was expecting. A revelation, one that would make sure truth walked down the aisle with us, whether she wanted it there or not. It was late evening when I asked her to sit down. No yelling, no tension, just the two of us on the couch, quiet like strangers learning how to speak again. Lena, I said softly, can we talk for a minute? She sighed loudly. If this is about flowers again, Ethan, I swear. It's not about flowers. She froze for a second, then leaned back. Okay, talk. I looked at her hands resting on her lap. I want to ask you something. One last time, and I need you to be honest. She frowned instantly. You're stressing me out already. What now? Did anything happen on the trip? She shot up with an offended laugh. Seriously? We already talked about this. We talked about it. I agreed calmly. But did anything happen? You're unbelievable. She stood up and paced. You're still stuck on that? Are you obsessed? I'm not obsessed, I said. I just want the truth before we get married. The truth is nothing happened, she shouted. No touching, no flirting, no holding hands, nothing. She turned sharply. What? Did someone tell you something? Are you spying on me now? I'm asking you. I whispered. Not anyone else. She threw her arms up. This is insane. I'm trying to build a future with you, Ethan, and you're trying to dig through trash. I'm trying to protect our future. No, you're trying to control it. You want perfection. You want guarantees. You want me chained to your insecurity. That's not true. It is, she screamed. You're insecure and childish. You can't handle me having a past. You're right, I replied. You do have a past. I'm just asking if it's still your present. She glared at me like she wanted to throw something at my face. You don't trust me. That's the real problem. Are you sure you're not hiding something? I asked gently. She paused. Just 1 second. Her eyes flickered, the way people look when truth brushes their throat, but pride refuses to swallow it. Then she crossed her arms tightly. You know what? If you can't trust me, maybe we shouldn't get married at all. My heart stopped. Not from fear, but from clarity. She used the wedding as a weapon. A threat, not a promise. You'd end our wedding because I asked one question. I asked. Yes, she snapped. Because this question shows who you really are. And I don't want to spend my life with someone who doubts me every time another man exists. So if I'm the problem, I said. You are the problem, she said firmly. You're ruining this relationship with jealousy. And don't pretend it's about honesty. You just want to control everything. She sat down again, breathing heavily. If you want this marriage, you stop questioning me. Right now. No more suspicion. No more drama. And if I don't, I asked, Then I'll call everything off. Simple. Her face looked sure, confident, cold. She wasn't trying to keep us together. She was trying to win. Something inside my chest crumbled quietly. Not pain, just the last piece of hope. I leaned forward slowly. You're right. I'm sorry. She blinked. You are? Yes. I'm overreacting. My mistake. I shouldn't have asked. I told you. You need to trust me, she said, relaxing instantly. You're right, I repeated calmly. I'll stop questioning. I'll stop worrying. That's good, she smiled, finally satisfied. We can move forward again. I nodded. Exactly. Forward. She didn't notice my eyes. They weren't angry. They weren't hurt. They were empty, as if something had turned off inside me like a switch. She hugged me like a victory, not a reconciliation. See? This is how relationships work. We trust each other. We choose each other. We choose each other, I echoed. She pulled away, smiling proudly. You really scared me for a second. I thought you were going to ruin everything. No, I said warmly. I won't ruin anything. She kissed me lightly. Good. Let's make this the perfect wedding. I smiled back. Perfect. She went to brush her teeth, talking about music and decorations through the doorway. I sat on the couch, calm, steady, untouched. The old version of me, the one who begged for honesty, who believed love could save everything, died right there. I wasn't trying to save anything anymore. I was just waiting. The morning felt unreal, almost quiet in its beauty. My suit fit perfectly, like it had been tailored for a different man. Lena stood across the room getting her makeup done, radiant, confident, smiling at everyone as if she already won something. You look nervous, Mason whispered beside me. I'm just excited, I said calmly. You sure? He asked. Absolutely. He studied my face. You look weirdly happy. I am, I told him. Today's going to be perfect. He didn't believe me, but he nodded anyway. Lena walked toward me a few minutes later, twirling her dress. Well, say something. You look beautiful, I said. She laughed softly. Of course I do. We're finally making it official. Yes, I said, finally. Guests kept pouring in. Her relatives, my coworkers, family friends, people who loved love more than they loved us. They hugged me, clapped my back, congratulated me like I'd won the lottery. I'm proud of you, her father told me, shaking my hand. You're the man she deserves. I smiled. Thank you. That means a lot. Her mother hugged me tightly. You'll take good care of our girl. I will, I promised. The ceremony space was covered in white roses, candles lined the aisle, and a massive screen behind the altar waited quietly, like a secret with perfect timing. Nobody questioned why it was set up. Everyone assumed it would show pictures of true love. The music began, slow and emotional. Lena walked down the aisle like a queen who believed she owned the throne and the kingdom. When she reached me, she whispered, "Try not to cry too much." "I'll do my best," I whispered back. The priest began. "Dearly beloved, we gather here today to join Ethan Miller and Lena Hart in holy matrimony." Lena squeezed my hands proudly, as if saying, "Look how far we've come." The priest continued, "Marriage is built on trust, devotion, and honesty. These vows are a promise." "Actually," I said, lifting my hand slightly, "before we make our vows, I want to share something." The priest paused. "Is everything all right?" "Everything is perfect," I said. "I just want to show everyone how honest love should look." Lena frowned lightly. "Ethan, what are you doing?" "Just a small tribute," I said warmly. Mason looked at me sharply. He knew something was coming. I turned toward the audience. Love isn't about pretending. It isn't about hiding. It's about truth. So I'd like to share ours. The lights dimmed slightly. The big screen lit up. A photo appeared. Lena and Daniel, holding hands, laughing on a sunlit beach. Gasps filled the room instantly. Some people covered their mouths. Some whispered. Some stared at Lena like they'd never seen her before. "What is this?" her mother whispered in horror. Lena grabbed my arm. "Turn it off. Right now." "Why?" I asked softly. She shook her head rapidly, panic rising. "Because this isn't okay. It's private." "Oh, there's more," I said. Messages appeared next. "Lena, he's so predictable, it's pathetic." "Daniel, guess that makes things easy for us, winking face." Another message. "Daniel, miss you already." Lena, don't worry, I'll ditch him soon. A voice note played next. Lena's voice echoed across the hall. He's boring. He's safe. He won't go anywhere even if I walk all over him. People gasped louder. Someone whispered, "Oh my God." Lena stumbled forward. "Stop. Ethan, please stop." "There's one more," I said softly. A final photo appeared. The same beach, the same sunlight, Lena kissing Daniel. Silence became heavier than sound. Daniel, who had been hiding in the back, turned pale and ran for the exit. Guess parted like he carried disease. "Daniel!" Lena screamed. "Wait, please." He kept running. Lena collapsed to the floor, holding her dress like it was her only shield. "Ethan, listen to me, please. This isn't what you think. It wasn't serious. I just needed honesty." I asked. She sobbed loudly. "Please don't do this to me." "I didn't do anything," I said. "You did." Her father stared at her like he didn't recognize his own daughter. Her mother sank into a chair, shaking. Mason whispered, "Holy damn." The priest didn't speak. He simply closed his book and stepped aside. I looked at everyone one last time. Calm, steady, free. Then I walked out. Not angry, not broken, just done. Silence swallowed the room after I walked back toward the altar. Dozens of eyes followed me like I'd become something unreal. The priest froze, unsure whether to continue or run. Lena, still on the floor, reached for me. "Ethan, please, don't leave me like this." I looked at the priest instead. There will still be a wedding today. The entire hall erupted in quiet shock. Gasps, whispers, confused glances rattled across the room. The priest stuttered, "Yes, sir. I don't understand." "Relax," I said gently. "I'm not marrying her." Lena screamed. "Then who?" "Who? Are you insane?" I turned my eyes toward the front row. Sophia. She looked stunned, frozen in her seat like I'd called her to a firing squad. The wedding planner slowly rose, her voice trembling. "And me?" "Yes," I said. She walked toward me cautiously. "Ethan, what are you doing?" "Something honest," I replied. Lena tried to pull herself up. "You can't take him. He's mine." I faced her. "You lost the right to love me the moment you chose another man over me." Her tears spilled without dignity now. "I made a mistake, Ethan. Please." "You didn't make a mistake," I said. "You made a choice." "I'm just choosing to." She shut her mouth, choking on her own sobs. Sophia whispered, "If this is a proposal, I don't think I want." I cut her off softly. "I'm not asking you to marry me." She blinked, confused. "Then what are you asking?" I turned so everyone could hear me clearly. "I'm starting a new life today. I don't need a wife, a ring, or a promise that breaks when things get hard. I just want someone willing to walk beside me. Honestly, no lies, no pretending. If you'll do that, even as a friend, that's more valuable than this entire ceremony." Sophia didn't smile dramatically. She just breathed out, relieved and warm. "That I can do." Awkward claps popped around the hall, small at first, then steadily louder. People weren't cheering romance. They were applauding truth. Lena's mother covered her face, whispering, "My poor girl, what have you done?" Her father looked at me with respect instead of sorrow. "Ethan, you're a stronger man than I realized." Lena grabbed my wrist desperately. "You can't replace me with her. She's nobody. I love you." "No," I said quietly, removing her hand. "You love what I gave you, not me." She shook her head violently. "You're mine. You promised." "I promised to be loyal," I said. "Not stupid." Her scream echoed off the walls as I stepped back. "You'll regret this." I looked at her one last time. "The only thing I regret is trusting someone who didn't value it." Mason slapped my shoulder, a crooked grin breaking through. "Man, you're something else." "Just finally awake," I replied. Sophia stood beside me, not clutching my arm, not pretending, just present. "I don't want to be part of a spectacle," she murmured. "You're not," I said. "You're simply the first person I've met today who didn't lie to me." She nodded, eyes soft. "Then, let's walk out together. As equals." "That's all I wanted," I said. The guests parted as we walked toward the exit, not as a couple, not as a new love story, but as two people choosing honesty over fantasy. Behind us, Lena screamed my name again, but it no longer held power over me. I didn't leave to hurt her. I left to free myself. And for the first time, I felt like the groom of my own life. 3 weeks passed before I heard anything about Lena again. I was eating lunch with Mason when he asked, "You heard the news?" "What news?" I asked, not really interested. "Daniel left her. Blocked her everywhere," he said. I took a sip of water. "That was fast." Mason leaned in. "You don't feel anything?" "Why should I?" I replied calmly. He stared at me. "Most guys would celebrate." "I'm not most guys," I said. He shook his head. "You're scary now." "I'm just done wasting feelings," I answered. Later that week, I ran into Mrs. Hart at the grocery store. She used to greet me like family. This time, her voice was cold. "Ethan." "Ma'am," I replied. She forced a smile. "Lena isn't doing well. I hope she finds peace," I said. Her eyes narrowed. "You exposed her." "She exposed herself. I just showed the truth," I said. She frowned and walked away without another word. A few days later, I met Sophia for coffee. She pushed a mug toward me. "You look quiet today." "Just thinking," I said. "About the wedding?" "No, about life." She laughed softly. "That's better." We sat outside, watching people rush by. Sophia asked, "Everyone keeps talking about her. Doesn't that bother you?" "No," I answered. "Karma doesn't need my help." She nodded. "You really mean that?" "Yes," I said. "Revenge is heavy. I don't want to carry anything anymore." Her eyes softened. "You're healing." Slowly, I admitted, "But I'm not angry now." She smiled. "Good. Don't let someone else ruin your heart." "I won't," I replied. We talked about work, goals, small dreams. Nothing dramatic. Nothing forced. It felt normal. Later, Mason called. "Bro, she's trying to get sympathy. People aren't buying it." "They don't need to," I said. "You don't even care?" "That's what happens when you're done," I replied. "Feelings don't fade. They break." He exhaled hard. "You're a new man." "More like a free one," I said. At night, I lay on my bed, not thinking about the past. For the first time, my chest wasn't heavy. No more jealousy. No more pain. No more wondering if I was enough. Sophia texted, "Thanks for today. It was nice talking as friends." I replied it was. Friends is enough. I meant it. She didn't need to save me. She just needed to be real. That was more healing than love. Days turned into normal life again. Work felt lighter. I focused on designing buildings that stood strong, not relationships that cracked under pressure. One afternoon, Mason nudged me while we worked. "So what now?" he asked. "I live," I answered. "No big plan? No grand message?" "No, just peace." He smirked. "Deep." "It's simple," I said. "Love doesn't ruin people." "Oh yeah?" he asked. "Then what does?" "Lies," I said. "Only lies." The world kept moving. So did I. Without bitterness. Without revenge. Without looking back.